Roll the intro.
Hi, I'm Cole McNamara, travel creator from Canada. There's no place I love more than Southeast Asia. So, once again, I'm flying to the other side of the world to visit a new country. But what's different is this year I swapped my suitcase for a backpack. In this video, I'll show you what you need so you can do it too, to live a life you will remember.
The thing to keep in mind about traveling to Southeast Asia is it's definitely rugged travel, no matter what country you go to. It's definitely not the place you're gonna be rolling a suitcase around everywhere you go unless you're actually staying in a luxury hotel. So what do I recommend? First thing on the list, I switched my suitcase up for a backpack. So this is my Osprey Farpoint 80-liter backpack. Definitely not the smallest one you can go with, but it's definitely the choice that I made. So like I said, I switched from a suitcase to a backpack. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna wear the same t-shirt every day, same pair of shorts kind of thing. I mean, if that's your thing, go for it. I like to bring definitely some t-shirts to wear throughout the day if I'm out in the water, some bathing suits. I also like to have my going out for dinner clothes and some nice shoes to wear along with it. You definitely don't need one this big, however, it suits me just fine. Now, do you need an 80-liter? Absolutely not. You could get by with a 30 or 40-liter, something a little on the smaller size. You can actually go as big as, like, I think it's 100-liter or more. That's the kind of backpack you wear on like an actual camping trip when you're up in the mountains. But so I was tempted to get one that big, but it's too much. And I like the style of this one better, just like the fitment for backpacking Southeast Asia. So again, 80-liter Osprey Farpoint. They do make this in a ladies configuration as well. I went with the men's. And the nice thing about this backpack, unlike traditional backpacks in the past, like you'd see a lot of people probably on YouTube videos using, is I love the Farpoint because it opens like a suitcase. So the old style backpack, you have to shove all your clothes in and just stack them up on top of each other. And then when you go in to get that backpack to get a t-shirt, it might be on the very bottom, right? So what I love about the Farpoint is it actually opens like a suitcase. You can just lay down in your bed if you're in a hostel and just access, really easily see everything you have in here packed. So that's a huge plus for me, why I bought this backpack. On this side, so besides the big compartment, it actually has a little like mesh pocket here, very huge. You can stuff stuff in. And again, there's also another compartment on the side. You can see I got some sunscreen in here. I also have an ocean dry bag. I roll that up and squeeze it in there. It's a good spot for it. And there's a third compartment on the very bottom. So on the very bottom is kind of a smaller compartment. I put stuff down here that I'm not worried about getting squished. So got my pair of flip-flops in here, and I have a rain jacket for the backpack. So I bought this off Amazon. By the way, guys, everything I'm showing you pretty well, except maybe a few things, is actually on my website. So under my Amazon favorites page, you can actually just click on a link and it'll take you straight to all the stuff I'm showing you. So this, I actually bought this one off Amazon. It's just a rain jacket. It's elastic and it just slides right over top of the whole backpack. Again, in Southeast Asia, when you're on a ferry, you're not always gonna be underneath a roof. So I can tell you that from experience. So definitely be prepared to get wet. And I mean, I imagine, I don't know the full facts on this backpack, but it probably is waterproof or somewhat waterproof, but I would get a rain jacket for your Osprey. So again, that's on my Amazon links. You can find that very easily. They come in different colors too. I just went with the blue. Got my little Canadian flag. That's just an added touch. Obviously, I'm from Canada. And so once you zip this all back up, I'll just show you here. You can stuff quite a bit of clothes in here. I find I sometimes have to take a little bit back out, as obviously the zipper doesn't do up. So classic packing, but you know what? I'd rather have what I need on a trip than not have something. So but it sometimes comes down to sacrificing a shirt or two or a pair of shorts, but you can definitely pack a lot in here. So once you have the zipper done up, you just got these 2 clips in the front. Helps hold things together. And let me show you the other side. So this is what's really cool about this backpack. So you have your 2 straps. I believe they call this a suspension backpack. So it's totally different than your smaller backpack. So you can kind of see how the straps are kind of hung here. Hopefully you can see the camera picks that up. But you have your hip things here as well. So this backpack will actually buckle around your hips and clip together. And then you have a side strap, like a cross strap on the front that you clip as well. And what that does is, instead of all that load carrying off your shoulders, because obviously you're carrying a lot of weight in these backpacks, right? You have your whole life on your back when you're in Southeast Asia. So these hug your hips and they help distribute the weight onto your hips so they're not all on your shoulders. Amazing. What else was I want to show? Oh yes, so if you're going into an airport and you're flying on a plane, you're checking this is obviously your checked luggage, because it's definitely not carry-on size. One thing that I love about this is it has this little cover that just completely zips up. Try and stuff everything in here. So you can see it completely covers in the straps. So if this is going, like when you're checking your luggage and it's heading down the conveyor belt and obviously getting loaded on the plane, in the belly of the plane, it just keeps the straps from getting caught on stuff, and it keeps your backpack from getting dirty. I find this is awesome. It almost turns it into a suitcase in a way. And then obviously once you pick it up on the other end, at the luggage claim, you just undo this and you just roll it up, and it tucks in the very base of the backpack, and then there you go, you're putting it on your back again. Now, when I'm traveling in Southeast Asia, you know, some people get by with just one backpack. Obviously, I'm a travel vlogger, and I like to bring a certain amount of items with me. So as big as the Osprey is, and maybe that'll do it for you, but I actually bring 2 backpacks. So let me show you my other backpack. So this is my other backpack. It's just a real simple backpack that I've had for years. Again, I have my Canadian flag on it. What I do with this backpack, so in my Osprey, I pack all my clothes. Anything from t-shirts to bathing suits to nice clothes for going out for dinner with. And then obviously sunscreen in my dry bag, but that's pretty much everything that stays in there. Even I throw my towel in there as well. I usually pack a towel. Tip for you guys, towel. If you're staying in a hostel in Southeast Asia, chances are they will provide you with a towel, but from my experience, by the time you check in sometimes, all the towels are in the laundry and you don't get one when you need a shower bad. So pack a towel, even if you're just going to a beach, say you're taking a scooter to a beach, you have your own towel. Or you get to a hostel and there's none available, you have a towel. So get one that's not too thick so it doesn't take too much room packing. But that's another thing I keep in my big backpack. So sorry, going back to this, my smaller backpack holds all my camera gear. What I keep in this smaller backpack is my drone, the Mini 4 Pro by DJI. It's a awesome drone, way better than the first version. I also keep my GoPro in there as well. I keep 2 tripods. One I'm filming on, so I can't show you guys. The other one is just my GoPro selfie stick and tripod combo. Also, my shoes. I usually throw my shoes in this smaller backpack as well. And keep in mind when you're packing. So obviously your Osprey is becoming the checked luggage. Your smaller backpack, which I wear on the front of me, is my carry-on essentially. It's actually a personal item. It's not necessarily carry-on. So with that said, you need to pack accordingly. Obviously, your electronics, like my drone, my GoPro, if you have a laptop or a portable battery charger, like a battery bank, keep it in the smaller backpack because that has to go through security. Don't put that stuff in your big backpack or your backpack's gonna get searched and you're gonna get stuff confiscated. So keep that in mind when you're packing. So obviously all my camera gear goes in the smaller backpack, which I wear on the front of me. And that's the 2 backpacks that I bring whenever I'm backpacking Southeast Asia. So now I wanna show you what shoes I bring. You might say I bring a little too much with me, but honestly, you kinda need this many shoes. Maybe 1 set less, but this is what I bring. So I'll just explain what I bring. So the most important thing of all flip-flops. You might prefer a different type of sandals or Birkenstocks. I prefer just like a nice light foam flip-flop, something that stays on my foot and it's not heavy, and it's nice and squishy and soft on my feet. I wear these probably places I shouldn't even be wearing flip-flops, to be honest. I'll carry both my backpacks on me and I'm wearing flip-flops. There's spots where probably people would wear a running shoe. I'm definitely wearing flip-flops. I just love to wear flip-flops wherever I go. It's my favorite type of shoe. It's just comfortable, and yeah, that's me. That's my style. So first pair of shoes, most important, flip-flops or some type of sandal, because obviously there's times where you're getting sand, you're getting wet, you're going on boat trips, you name it. You definitely need that type of shoe. Second type of shoe, running shoes. As much as I hate to pack running shoes sometimes, because it does take up a lot of space in that smaller backpack like I showed you, running shoes are needed if I know I'm going on a trip where I'm doing any sort of like hiking, where either the other shoes are gonna get dirty or I just need that extra traction or protection on my feet. Like if I'm climbing rock or something like that, definitely bring a good pair of comfortable running shoes. But then at night when you're going out for dinner, obviously you want to get dressed up a little nicer with some good clothes. So these are my loafers. So this is a pair of loafers. I bought them off Amazon. Again, they're linked on my website. My goodness, they paid for themselves over and over. What a comfortable shoe. So again, they're a nice light foam design. I'll put these on, go out for dinner. You hardly know they're even on your feet. They're so comfortable. They're like wearing a flip-flop, but they're very stylish for going out for dinner. Highly, highly recommend. And you can even wear them around during the day if you want to instead of wearing flip-flops. I wear them bare feet. I don't wear socks. Like, they're the most comfortable thing ever. Lastly, these are kind of my airport shoes. So when I'm flying from Canada to get to my destination, I'm always wearing these white lugs. Again, I bought them off Amazon. They're a little bit heavier. Probably best you wear a pair of socks with them. I find that you can get blisters if you don't wear like a small white sock. So again, I wear them just on the plane. Just kind of to be stylish on the plane as I'm flying to a country. And if the outfit suits when I'm in the country, then I'll wear these out for dinner sometimes. But again, I don't wear them a lot because I do tend to get blisters. Yeah, so, but just another pair of shoes I like to bring. Some necessities in terms of electronics when you're on a trip, something I highly, highly recommend is a battery bank. Don't think your phone's gonna hold a charge for the entire day. You know, there's gonna be a time where you need it the most. You're out and about, you're trying to get back to your hostel or to a restaurant or meet up with friends, and the next thing you know, your phone's going dead. So my phone definitely doesn't last a day. Being a travel vlogger, I'm constantly filming with it. So bring a battery bank. You might be on a plane that doesn't have electrical outlets on it. You might be on a ferry. I've been driving my scooter with, I'll rent a scooter and drive around an island in Southeast Asia, and this is sitting in the little compartment underneath the handlebars, and I have my phone plugged in because it's running navigation for me. I'm also filming with it, and when you're hours and hours up north on an island and you're trying to get home at night and it's pouring rain and it's dark, the last thing you need is your phone going dead. So portable battery bank, you can get them cheap off Amazon. Just don't get one too big. There is a limit for the airlines for what you can bring in terms of battery capacity. So just be careful you don't buy one too big. Make sure it meets the requirements for the airline. Otherwise you're gonna be in trouble there. Another thing, obviously everybody needs this, a phone charger. But this is an actual adapter. So when I started traveling Southeast Asia, actually, I think it's when I started traveling Europe, I really had to make the switch. I think I got by in Thailand okay, but as soon as I got to Europe, like Italy and Greece, and then the Philippines, which is this video coming up, I had to start using this adapter all the time. I found, especially in the Philippines, they're all 240 volt outlets, the two prong like you'd have over in Europe, and like this one here. So definitely need the adapter or you're not gonna be able to charge your phone anywhere. So highly recommend this adapter. It has obviously the European plug, UK, US and Australia as well. And all you do is you just slide out the little sliders, and it pulls out the prongs for that country, and you hit the button to release it, and you're good to go. And this again is linked on my Amazon favorites on my website. This one I went with, so I'm very picky when I buy stuff for electronics for traveling, because obviously when you're traveling and you're, like say you're out and about for the day and you come back to your hotel for the night or hostel, you might have like a quick few minutes to take a shower, get changed, and go out for dinner with the group that you're traveling with or some friends or whatever. And the last thing you need is a slow charger for your phone, because then it's not even going to top up very fast and it's not going to last the night. So this is actually a 65 watt charger. So it'll charge your phone very fast. Has 2 USB-C ports on the bottom. Anything I use nowadays is USB-C. All the electronics I buy, I try to make sure it's USB-C, and any charger I make sure it's USB-C, because USB-C is the fastest way of charging through USB. And again, look at the wattage of the adapter. This one's linked on my Amazon store, so make sure you get this one because it's 65 watt. So multiple USB ports, at least 2 USB-C. I have 2 cords plugged in here because when I'm traveling, not only do I need to charge my iPhone 15 Pro, but I need to also charge the GoPro, the drone, maybe my Bose earbuds. So I need at least 2 cords so I can constantly be charging 2 things at once. And when I go out for dinner, for example, I have the camera equipment charging, and then when I come back to go to sleep, I switch it and I plug in my phone overnight. So definitely get yourself an adapter so that no matter what country you're in, you're good to go. Like I mentioned when I had my Osprey out, definitely pack the sunscreen. But once I get to the destination, the country I'm heading to, I take the sunscreen out of the big Osprey.
Just a note on liquids. To avoid the 100 milliliter liquid limit in your personal item or carry-on, just pack your larger bottles in your checked luggage. In my case, my checked luggage is my 80 liter Osprey backpack. I do this all the time in order to bring a full bottle of shampoo or sunscreen, for example.
I take the sunscreen out of the big Osprey and I put it in my small backpack, because what happens is when I get to a hotel or a hostel, that small backpack becomes my day pack if I'm not using the ocean dry bag. The small backpack becomes the day pack. So I pull everything out, pull the shoes, everything out, and I basically just keep my camera gear in there, and then sunscreen and my eyeglasses, sunglasses, anything I'm bringing around on a day trip, for example, if I'm going on a boat or something. So definitely make sure you're packing sunscreen. Obviously, when you're traveling, you can buy sunscreen in the country you're going to, but I like to stick with certain brands. So just, I don't know, personal preference, but I bring enough with me to cover an entire trip. Another thing I like to bring, and some people might laugh at this, but it's honestly important. So I spend a lot of time going out to music events, whether I'm back home here in Canada or I'm traveling abroad. If you're heading to a club at night, a piece of advice, there's little foam earplugs, and they're actually like a tan colored, so they're the same color as your skin. Some people might laugh at that, but the honest truth is, yes, I do like to dance and have fun. But honestly, most DJs, the music is way, way, way too loud. And it's not that I'm just saying it's loud. Like, I like to have a good time, but it's just, honestly, it's hearing loss level. So when you spend enough time in enough clubs at night, you're gonna lose some hearing, honestly. So I bring earplugs everywhere I go. Also, some boats, normally in Southeast Asia, if you're on a loud boat, like they will sometimes give you earmuffs to wear. And yes, the boats sometimes can be loud in Southeast Asia. There's like no mufflers, they're just straight piped. So again, another scenario to wear earplugs, but for me, I just wear it to music events. I like to save my hearing. I've lost enough hearing in my lifetime. So yeah, I don't want to lose any more. Another thing I keep in that small backpack is my Bose earbuds. You can bring headphones if you're traveling. For me, headphones is way, way too bulky. I bring way too much camera equipment with me and everything else, my clothes, everything. Like a full-size set of headphones, like you see here, I have a set of Bose headphones. I use these in my recording studio when I'm editing YouTube videos, but they're just way too bulky to be, I mean, sure, they're even better sound quality than the earbuds, but just too big to carry traveling, in my opinion. At least for like backpacking Southeast Asia, like you can't be bringing big headphones like that. At least not for me. So I bring my little Bose earbuds. I wear them on a plane. That's pretty much everywhere I use them, unless I'm chilling on a beach and I want to listen to some music. It's mostly just when I'm traveling on planes or like on a ferry. And that's pretty much everything I keep in my small backpack. So I just want to show you guys the dry bag that I started keeping in my big Osprey. And again, I pretty much I keep in the Osprey just to store it. I don't always need this in my day pack, so it's just less bulk if I don't have it on me all the time. This is my ocean dry bag. They make different styles of these. I bought this one locally here in Canada. I'll try and find this one on Amazon for you guys, and I'll link it on my website. If I can't find it, I'll link a different dry bag for you as well. But obviously the thing about a dry bag, unlike a standard backpack like I just showed you guys, a dry bag is completely waterproof. So I mean, it's a little different in terms of a backpack, where a backpack's more organized with all your stuff, you know where it is in different pockets. This is just a single bag, but when you're traveling in Southeast Asia and you're on a boat for the day, keep in mind some boats, especially in the Philippines, they don't, the Bangka boat, so Bangka is the boats they use in the Philippines, it's that style of boat. They don't come right into the shore, they can't actually. The boats have inboard engines, they can't come in close to shore, so sometimes you're walking in waist or like shoulder deep water to come into a beach when you're on a boat tour. So I highly recommend either bring one with you or buy one when you're in Southeast Asia if a boat trip is something you're planning on doing, especially if you, like, you might even just get splashed where you're sitting on a boat. And for me, like, I have the drone on me, I have my GoPro. Obviously the GoPro is waterproof, but things like the drone and, I don't know, a towel, anything you need to keep dry, a dry bag just makes it stress free. So you just throw everything in, and all you do is you just roll it up and you just clip these 2 clips. And then you're good to go. And then just make sure you buy one with a strap, either a single strap or with a backpack style strap. So you're not just like carrying on to it with one hand, you know what I mean? So that's the dry bag. When it comes to medication and stuff like that, that's obviously personal preference. I bring over-the-counter medication with me. One thing I highly recommend if you're traveling anywhere is medication and stuff like that in case you get sick. So I have a tendency every trip I go on to get sick. Sometimes it's extremely sick. And I mean, I'm good to take all my vaccines before I go to a country. I do a lot of research and get any vaccine I need, but it doesn't stop you from getting sick. It'll definitely help you from getting really sick. But one thing I recommend you pack is things like Halls or like VapoCool. Depending on what country you're from, this stuff goes by different names, but basically stuff that will, if you get a sore or dry throat, like, have enough of those on you. If there's anything I need the most when I'm traveling, it's stuff for a sore or dry throat. Or if you get like a cough, I also like to keep some decongestant tablets on me. I find sometimes if I get really like stuffed up or like my nose is running, it's nice to take that and try and get rid of it a little bit faster. There's nothing worse than being sick on a trip, especially if you're on like a backpacking trip, or I like to do a lot of group trips through Contiki, and you're kind of fast paced, you know? Sometimes you're only on an island for like 2 days. So when you're sick, it really kills the vibe real quick, and it makes it really miserable for you. So definitely bring anything like that. I bring some other stuff too. I've never actually used them yet, but here, I'll show you. I have stuff like this too, again, over the counter, like charcoal tablets, but I don't know, I haven't used them yet. I just have them in case I actually need them someday. I keep other medication for times I get like an upset stomach, or honestly, the biggest thing you need to worry about in Southeast Asia is food poisoning. So whether you're in Thailand, the Philippines, or another Southeast Asia country, food poisoning is very easy to get, okay? So I've had it myself. When I went to Thailand, I'm gonna say a couple days into the trip, and I was in Thailand, I think, for 3 weeks. A couple days into the trip, I got sick. So I don't know if it was from the water or the food, but definitely knocked me out for a week. I still tried to have some fun, but I felt like I was actually dying, to be quite honest with you. It was pretty bad. So, and then to give you a little bit more to that story, I get over that food poisoning, and the next like week and a half was like cold and flu symptoms. Like, I never had so many cold and flu symptoms at the same time my whole life. So bring stuff for like food poisoning, for like upset stomach, if you think you're gonna throw up, like that kind of thing. Like, obviously there's pharmacies in these countries. Like, guys, one thing to keep in mind, if you've never been to Southeast Asia, it's not like you're necessarily in the middle of nowhere. I mean, sometimes you are, but a lot of times there is pharmacies around. It's just if you're really sick, sometimes you can't even get yourself to a pharmacy or a hospital. Just have stuff on hand that you can easily take without having to go out and about, if you sometimes have to just lay in bed for a day or two.
Here I thought I was holding a box of Band-Aids, but it's actually liquid IV. This is a powder you put in your water bottle to restore electrolytes and vitamins when you're feeling sick. Anyways, I'm gonna tell you about Band-Aids as I hold a box of liquid IV.
Bring Band-Aids, preferably waterproof Band-Aids. I buy these waterproof Band-Aids because like, if you're on a boat, and generally that's where it seems to happen for me, if I'm on a boat or something, I'll cut my foot somehow, maybe on a piece of coral if I'm snorkeling, and you can't have a Band-Aid that's gonna peel back off, so definitely pack some Band-Aids. If you're new to the whole backpacking thing versus a hotel trip, definitely pack your shampoo. Everything you need cosmetic-wise, shampoo, soap, that sort of thing, because unlike a hotel, hostels do not provide that. In case you're new to this, sorry if I'm talking. If you're new to backpacking and the hostel life, basically what you need to know is hostels do not provide toiletry items like you would in a hotel. So you're not going to get soap, you're not going to get shampoo and the like. So definitely, like I said, with the whole towel thing, bring your own towel, bring your own soap, shampoo, anything you need in that regard, because the hostels do not provide it. So if you're doing the hostel thing in Southeast Asia, that's something you want to keep in mind, bring with you. What I do is I buy a body wash shampoo combo. I used to carry a bar of soap with me in a waterproof container, but it takes up more space, and you always have to like dry it out before you put it back in your bag. So I now carry a big bottle of body wash shampoo combo. I'll just show you an example. Here's an example of what I would buy. So it just makes it that much easier. And it's one less thing to carry into the shower with you. I don't know, that's me. When you're staying in a hostel, if you've never done it before, you need to bring a lock with you. So how hostels work is they have, obviously it's a big room with a bunch of bunk beds. I highly recommend you book hostels that at least have a curtain so you have somewhat of privacy. Guys, when you're in Southeast Asia, you can get hostels pretty cheap, but let me tell you, it's gonna be a bunk bed with no privacy, and who knows what you get beyond just a bed and a sheet and a pillow. Like it's gonna be pretty basic. So I tend to book hostels at least with like that look nice and clean, and they're kind of like a little modern, and they have a curtain. But one thing you need to know is you need to be able to lock your stuff up. So stuff does get stolen in hostels. I've been safe, thank goodness. But in hostels, so in this big room with a bunch of bunk beds, obviously you have an assigned bed with a number on it, and you get like some sort of like cage, like locker thing to lock your stuff up in. So bring a lock. Now what I like to bring, and hopefully you can see this, hopefully it shows up on camera, it's a little dark. Maybe I'll insert a picture or video here. It's also on my Amazon favorites. So my lock is a little different than your standard lock. You can get them with keys and obviously like a dial pad or what have you, where you remember a combination. The last thing I want to have to worry about is memorizing a 4-digit combination. That's new to me when I'm on a trip, okay? Trips are meant to be relaxing, not to be wondering how to get back into your locker at the end of the night. So I bought this off Amazon. Again, it's linked. Highly recommend, if you're gonna spend the money on a lock, buy this one, just keep it for the rest of your life. So this is a fingerprint lock. So you buy it, you program it with your fingerprints, and guys, this is how it works. So basically you just put your thumb on it, it turns green, and it unlocks. Like seriously, amazing, so handy. And it, again, USB-C, it's rechargeable, so you just charge it back up. I went an entire month and never had to charge it. It just was fine the whole time. So if you're gonna buy a lock, buy that one. Like I mentioned with the whole shampoo thing and towel thing, when you're in hostels, like you're not gonna get like a box of Kleenex like you would in a hotel. So I pack these little travel size Kleenexes. They're just these little Kleenex bags. You can get them off Amazon, or I'm sure lots of stores wherever you live. Definitely pack enough. I filled the front little compartment of my little my smaller backpack, and I use them obviously if you have to blow your nose or you get sick. Also, I use them to clean my glasses and my sunglasses, because a day out on a boat, my sunglasses get full of salt spray and they get full of sunscreen. So I clean my glasses, sunglasses with this. Again, glass cleaner is another thing to pack if you never packed for a trip before. This is my final tip for traveling either backpacking Southeast Asia or any country at all, is finances. Okay, so I've been pretty good, but I had a pretty bad experience in the Philippines, and it's a bad experience that went from bad to even worse, and I could have definitely prevented it by doing a couple things. And I kind of feel this is a story for another video, so I will do another video on that story. But so I'll keep you waiting on that one. But the thing to keep in mind is bring cash with you to Southeast Asia, okay? If you're coming from a country like Canada where you use your credit card every day for every single thing you buy, don't think you're gonna go to Southeast Asia and just swipe, pay for everything with your credit card. It's not gonna happen, okay? There's street vendors that sell food on the side of the street, and the restaurants as well. They're either not gonna accept credit card, or they're gonna put a high fee on that to use the credit card. So definitely bring cash with you, the local currency. People have different opinions on taking out cash. I mean, if you're smart about it, what I do is I take cash with me on every trip. I don't like to use ATMs, okay? That's just a quick way to lose money on the high ATM fees. I mean, hey, this is an argument that a person could make. I realize not everyone agrees with me on that one, but I do not like to, number one, pay ATM fees. Number two, have to try and find a working ATM, reliable ATM. I've seen so many people on trips that I travel with in any country, Mexico, Thailand, Philippines, wherever you go. The ATMs, as much as people say, oh yeah, they work, they don't work, okay? You're gonna need to take out money and it's not gonna work and you're trying to find another one. If you're on a group trip, there's no time to waste to try and find another ATM when your whole group is now leaving to go somewhere else and you have no money to pay for whatever it is you're trying to pay for. So, I mean, even if you don't bring enough for the entire trip, again, that topic's debatable, but if you're not gonna bring enough for the entire trip, bring enough to at least get you by, okay? And then use ATMs once you get there. But don't only bring cash, all right? Bring a credit card, okay? Now, it's up to you what kind of credit card you want to bring. When I'm traveling, I never use my home credit card, and the reason being is because it charges foreign transaction fees. I also run a business, so it's a little different for me. I have to use a business credit card, obviously for business expenses, but for the average traveler, you definitely want a credit card that's not going to charge foreign transaction fees. So like I said, my home bank charges foreign transaction fees. The last thing I want to do is pay another fee. So bring a credit card that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees that you can use for any currency. Because sometimes when you're heading to a country, especially Southeast Asia, like for me traveling to Southeast Asia from Canada, it's not a direct flight. It will sometimes take me 5 flights to get to Southeast Asia, okay? And like 40, 50 hours of travel time. I'll go through 3, 4 different countries by the time I get to the country I'm going to. So make sure your card's gonna work in that country. So if your home bank credit card doesn't charge foreign transaction fees, great, yours is better than mine. But with that said, inform your bank before you leave because not all banks are the same. Not all the credit cards are the same. Some don't need you to tell them you're traveling. Some need to know every single country you're going to and what time period you're going to be in each country for. So I bring my home bank credit card with me and I do it as simply as a backup, okay? I never touch it the whole time I'm on a trip. It's just in my wallet in case I need it. But this is the one credit card I use when I'm traveling and it is the Wise travel card, okay? I don't know if that shows up on camera. I have multiple videos on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok about the Wise travel card. As I say on YouTube, it is the only Visa debit you should be using while you're traveling. It holds multiple currencies. You have full control in the Wise mobile app on your phone, and it's simply the best way to spend while you're abroad if you need a credit card. So again, the green Wise card, I have a link on my website that will take you straight to Wise and you can sign up and have one shipped to you. And not only do I keep the physical, that's another tip, guys. Don't just rely on a physical card, okay? If someone swipes your wallet on you, what do you have? Absolutely nothing. Wise allows you to add that card. Not only is it in the app, which is awesome, but it's also, you can add it to your Apple Wallet or Samsung Pay. Sorry guys, I'm an Apple person. So whatever the Samsung or Google Pay equivalents are of Apple Pay, you can add it right into the wallet on your phone. And through NFC, you can just wirelessly use your phone to make payments. You don't have to actually use the physical card. So if your wallet gets swiped, you have your phone. If your phone gets swiped, you have your wallet. On that note of financials and stuff getting swiped, again, I've been pretty safe on trips. One thing I do is on my phone, I keep pictures of things like my driver's license, passport, my health insurance card. I also have paper copies of all that in my backpack, okay? So I always have 3 copies of my most important travel documents. So I keep obviously the real copy of my passport and stuff like that, but in my wallet and in my backpack, but I also have paper copies that I just photocopy, and then I also have pictures on my phone. So I literally have 3 backups. So if anything gets swiped on me, I always have a way that I can still hop on a plane and fly, or pay for something, or if I end up in a hospital, I can contact my travel insurance for my health insurance. So another tip for you, highly recommend you keep multiple copies of the important travel documents.
Another important tip, bring an expired copy of an ID or passport with you on trips. Scooter rental companies will hold your ID hostage, and it's better you keep your real ID in case you need it, so give them an old copy to hold. I can tell you from experience, they don't check the expiry dates.
So that's what I pack in my backpack. So I'm traveling Southeast Asia. I went over the things that I could easily think of that I pack in my 2 backpacks, but there's obviously more than just that, right? Everybody has their travel preference on how they travel, different travel styles. Some people wear 1 backpack, some people wear 2, some people use a suitcase. It all depends where you're traveling to, where you're going. If you're hopping on and off a ferry like me and you're in the pouring rain and you're carrying your luggage down the lower deck, a backpack's gonna do it over a suitcase. Or like the Philippines, if you have to walk like a 1/4 mile down a beach to get to your hostel because it only has beach access, you're not gonna wanna drag a suitcase. So I traded up my suitcase for the backpacks, and that's how I travel right now, at least when I'm in Southeast Asia. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, comment below if I missed anything. Help other people out that are watching this video, and I wanna hear it for myself. I wanna see what you guys pack that I didn't think of. Well guys, that's a wrap. I'm now gonna pack up my 2 backpacks and head to the Philippines. I'll see you there in the next video. Don't click away because I'm gonna show you a preview on my trip to the Philippines.
After watching this video, head over to colemcnamara.ca. Here you'll find links to save money on your next trip, such as unlimited data eSIMs. Yes, that's right, unlimited data. Unlike the large companies that sell eSIMs, my eSIMs don't require topping up during your trip, causing you to lose connectivity when you need it the most. And they won't keep costing you money. The data simply never runs out. Purchase one of my unlimited data eSIMs and have full connectivity on your trip. Wise Travel Card. The only Visa debit card you should be using when traveling. Their cards hold multiple currencies, you can use internationally, and no foreign transaction fees. And the best part? You're in full control using the Wise mobile app on your phone. Contiki Group Trips. Contiki is the best way to solo travel without being solo. On a Contiki group trip, you'll meet like-minded friends so fast you'll wonder why you didn't book a trip sooner. And so many more links to save money while you travel. So after watching this video, head over to colemcnamara.ca so you can travel smarter. I'll put the link in the description for you. Now, back to the video.